Hi all, welcome to today's session on Python data structures. Before moving into the practical part, we'll discuss a couple of minutes on the theoretical part. So in Python, we mainly have four data structures. One is lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. These are the four mainly used data structures. So we'll discuss one by one on the theoretical part. So first, list. So as you can see in the first point, the syntax of list is a square parenthesis, and lists are ordered, which means you can specifically pick a position and you can print it out, or you can use it in another variable. So we'll discuss a bit more in the practical part where you can clearly understand what exactly ordered means. And coming to the mutability, so lists are mutable, which means we can change the content in the list even after the initialization. So even in the later point of time, lists can be changed, that you can remember, which means mutable. So, and coming to the fourth point, which is allows duplicates. Lists can have duplicate values. So let's say this is a syntax. Within that syntax, you can have the same number or same float or same string, which can be used multiple times within this same list. So this means allows duplicates. So this is all about lists. So I'm just discussing in brief. We'll discuss everything in detail in the practical part in less than like 3 minutes. So next, tuples. So if you can see here, the syntax is a little different, where you are using a rounded parenthesis instead of square parenthesis in lists. And here also it is ordered, which means you have a specific order in the tuples as well. And coming to the third point, which is immutable, which means the tuples cannot be changed once initialized. And coming to the fourth point, even tuples allows duplicates. So the third data structure in Python is sets. So the syntax is curly parenthesis. And coming to the second point, which is unordered, you saw it in the lists and also in tuples it is ordered, but in sets it is unordered. And coming to the third point, which is mutable, even sets can be changed in the later point of time. And coming to the fourth point, which is no duplicates are allowed in lists. Even if you have in the initial point of time, even if you have if you had duplicates, again while printing, the duplicates are gone. So I'll show it in a bit later. So in the practical part, you'll get complete understanding. So you need not worry on if you're not understanding anything here. So it's just the theoretical part where you can just take notes of it, where it will be you can relate that in the practical part. So yeah, no duplicates allowed in lists, in the sets. And now dictionaries. So you can see that the syntax for dictionaries and sets are similar, but with a different approach. In dictionaries, we have key value pairs, where you have a key and a value, and key, a value, key and a value. So in detailed syntax will be discussed later, and you can have this idea. So the syntax, the curly parenthesis is same, but here you have key and value pairs. And the second point, it's unordered. So dictionaries are unordered and are mutable, which means you can change later point of time. So coming to the duplicacy, keys doesn't allow any duplicates, values allow duplicates. So as I discussed, as I told earlier, so dictionaries are key value pairs within the syntax, what you see here, curly parenthesis. So this is all about the theoretical part. So now directly let's jump into the practical part. Now in the practical part, we'll start with lists. So I'll just give heading lists. I'll just choose markdown as an option. So in a Jupyter notebook, you can use this markdown where you can give your headings, comments and all. So what exactly hashtags mean here is, if I give one hashtag, it's very big in size. Even if you can see the font size, it is the maximum size we can print in this notebook, and it goes a bit down, more smaller and more smaller. If I see this, if I run this 4 hashtags, you can see the text font is much smaller. So yeah, I'll just do 2 hashtags, which is good. So we'll start with lists. So before starting with the data structures altogether, we'll just understand what are variables. So before understanding what is variables, if you have an image, you have a video, you have an audio file, you have a PDF, anything, any file or any document what you have, so you need some place to store, correct? Variable is something where you can store your values in programming language. So I'll just say we'll just start with some name. Let's say Dhoni. I've run this. See, I've run this Dhoni, and when I run this cell, which is this highlighted one, this is a cell. When I run this, Dhoni is printed. But it's not, I've run Dhoni and Dhoni is printed, but it's not there in a particular position or in some variable, right? I mean, I cannot use back Dhoni whenever I require. So I can use it, but I have to use that DHONI, the word Dhoni itself. But what variables do is I can do this thing. So I can do this. So whenever I want Dhoni to be used in my programming language, what I can do is I can just print A, which is Dhoni, right? I can just print A. So Dhoni is being used somewhere. So this is just small example. So this is all about variables. So this A is variable. So there are some rules in variables. You cannot start with a number. So let's say I have put variable as 1A. This will not allow invalid decimal literal. So which means it doesn't allow starting with an number. But I can do underscore. This will allow me. If I print underscore A, so still Dhoni is printed. So there are some rules and regulations to be followed to use a variable or initialize a variable. So this is how variables is. So for a single string, or let's say, and now I'm just storing 1 2 3 4 5 number. So even if I'm printing, I'll have to run this. Yeah. Now if I'm printing underscore A, so it's now 1 2 3 4 5 because I've changed that to 1 2 3 4 5. But what if I want to store string, integer, float, any other data types in a single format or in a single data structure? I need data structures. So this is where these all 4 data structures come into place. So based on your requirement, you pick what you have to use. It might be lists, sets, tuples, and dictionaries. So we'll discuss how exactly we'll implement, we'll initialize, we'll use, and then we'll also discuss about its use cases. So now we'll start with list. I'll just delete these 2 cells. Yeah, I've deleted. So as discussed earlier, so this is list. So what I can do is I'll just have some names in this, like Virat, okay, Dhoni, Rohit. Yeah, I'll just add 3 legends. I mean, there are many legends, definitely, but still, I'll just add these 3 cricketers. So let's say we'll have these cricketers into a variable. We'll have to store, right? As discussed earlier, there is a concept called variable. We'll have to store this list into a variable. So we'll say cricketers, and we'll store them. Okay. So whenever I try to print cricketers, okay, cricketers, I'll see Virat, Dhoni, and Rohit been printed. Okay, this is fine. So this is list. So what we have discussed in list, these are ordered, which means let's say I want to only pick Dhoni. So Dhoni is in which position? First position. You might say, no, Virat is in first position because Virat is in 0th position. This is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So if I want to print Dhoni, I should say cricketers 1. This is how you have to use. So while printing, so this is same, this print statement is same, but in cricketers, I want the first index, which is Dhoni. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So if I print 2, Rohit is printed. If I print 0, index Virat. So you can see that 0, 1, 2. If I do 3, index out of range because the 3 was never initialized. So this is how it works. And we also discussed that it allows duplicates, right? So we can also have duplicates. So let's say we'll just print cricketers again. We have Virat, Dhoni, Rohit. So what if I want to add something more? I mean, some other cricketers into this list. What I'll do is I'll just do cricketers. I'll do dot append which is, there are few methods. Append in the sense I'm adding, the other name or other, data into this list. So I'll just do append and I'll say Sachin. Okay, and again I'll try to print cricketers. So Sachin is added. This is how append works. Append, will append at the end. So even if I'm again printing 3, because earlier when I printed 3, it was showing index out of range error. But now if I print 3, Sachin has been printed. So this is how, this append works. There are other methods such as remove. Okay, there is remove, there is pop, there is sort, there is reverse. So these are the methods, popular methods we have for lists. So what remove does is, so let's say I'll just do this as markdown. So we'll just do this as markdown. Yeah, so this is, this is not part of our code. It's just like comment which has been used. So these are, popular, more popular methods what we have. So what we can do is remove. So I'm just removing cricketers dot remove, and whom I'm removing, let's say for now, just for now, we'll remove Dhoni. And when I try again to print cricketers, I'll see Virat, Rohit and Sachin, not Dhoni, because Dhoni is removed. This is how this remove works. And also we'll have different things like that. Again, I'll just append without anyone being offended. So I'll just append Dhoni again, and when you print, yeah, Dhoni is there. So Virat, but the order is changed because Dhoni has been dropped from this position. We see that Dhoni has been dropped. Then we saw Virat, Rohit and Sachin here. Virat, Rohit and Sachin, and then again we are appending. Append is nothing but everything will append at the end. So yeah, Dhoni is added, and we'll see pop. Pop in the sense it will pop the last one every time. So whenever I do again this one, I've added, right? So pop I'll do, but pop will not take any argument. So I'll just pop. So Dhoni is popped out. So again, if you print cricketers, again you see Virat, Rohit and Sachin. This is how it works. But you might say, okay, even this remove has worked the same, but remove is something which you can specifically mention whom you want to remove, or what data you want to remove. But pop is something where you can you can remove it from the end. It is popped out, so you cannot, there is no argument required in this parenthesis. So this is how pop work. And sort will sort in the order, alphabetical order or numerical order if there are numbers. So let's say sort, and again we'll print. Okay, I'm using this print statement a lot, but still, yeah, to understand. Yeah, in alphabetical orders, if you see R, S, V, this is the order. So there is sort, and there is, however we have come this far, so we'll discuss the other one as well, which is reverse. So when you again print, yeah, so Virat is now first, Sachin remains in middle, and Rohit goes last. So this list is reversed. These are, there are many methods more, but still, the main methods are these. So we have these methods. So this is all about lists actually. So you can also use with numbers. So I'll just do it. I'll just say numbers, or else I'll just say my numbers, because numbers might feel more generic. So what I can do is I can just say 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, because lists allow duplicacy. So duplicates are allowed. So print, yeah. So everything else, whatever we have discussed here, append, pop, sort, reverse, everything works here as well. So I mean not just with numbers, also I can just say something like my floats, I can do 1.1, 1.2, 2.78, something like this. And I can just print floats. So yeah, it allows. So there is no data type constraint in lists, not only in lists, in any of the data structures you can use. But moving forward, I'll discuss. There will be some set of rules for each and every data structure. But this is what it is for lists. I hope this list is clear. Now we'll discuss about tuples. So again, I'll give heading tuples. Code, I'll just change that to markdown. So now tuples. So what we have discussed earlier, tuples. So tuples syntax is, the usual parenthesis, which is rounded parenthesis. So what are tuples? So we have discussed these are ordered, okay, same as lists, but tuples are immutable, which means you cannot change. You cannot change that tuples, again. We'll see how tuple works. So what we'll do is, for list we have maximum, we have worked for this strings. For now, for a change, we'll just use numbers this time. Just for understanding. It's not like you cannot use strings. You can, but for now we'll just use numbers. So what will we do? So I'll just give variable, right? We'll have to give a variable. Let's say my variable, something generic. So basically, in corporate, in any company you work, or you do your own projects, you need to have a meaningful variable. That is very important. Not only variable, you need to have meaningful function, meaningful method name, meaningful objects. Everything should be meaningful, because whenever you want to change something, whenever there is an update being going on, when you want to do when you want to do modifications, when there is let's say some new requirement coming, so you need to understand where exactly, what exactly is going on. So if you have meaningful names, that will really help you. So I'll just, for now, for understanding purpose, I'll just say my variable. So my tuple variable, we'll just add that, my tuple variable. I've used camel case for better readability. So now what I'll do is 10, 10, 10, 20, 70. I'm just using random numbers. Okay. So what we have discussed, tuples are ordered. Tuples doesn't allow changes. So like as in what we have done here in list, we have added few other names, we have removed whatever we like, we have done in lists. But in tuples we cannot do that. So what we can do is, but it is ordered, right? Ordered in the sense I can just fetch anything. Let's say I want to fetch 20. So what I can do, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, which means third index, third position. So I can just do print my tuple variable. And what was this? 3, correct? 3. I'll just, if I do this, 20 is been printed, because this is ordered. So there is an ordered, if I want 70, I can just say here 4 and 70 is been printed, which means tuples are ordered, but not immutable. Sorry, but not mutable, which means tuples are immutable. So immutable means I cannot change that. Let's say my tuple variable, and what I'll do is, I'll just say I want to change this 4th position, what index 4, to something. It was 70, right? I want to change it to 71, but I cannot do it, because it clearly says tuple object does not support item assignment, which means once initialized you cannot change that. So that is tuple. So there is a difference, correct? There is a drastic difference. You could do everything with lists, but not with tuples. Tuples, once initialized, they are that you cannot change them, you cannot remove, you cannot add, you cannot delete anything, you cannot do anything. But you can you have this ordered, so you can fetch any of the values. So you can do that, but you cannot change. So this is all about tuples. Now we'll discuss about sets. So again, I'll just give heading sets. Okay, I'll have to change that to markdown. Yeah, now there is a proper heading, sets. So what are sets? So as discussed in the theory part, we'll see again sets. We have curly parentheses, unordered, mutable, and no duplicates. So first we'll just use this curly parenthesis, and we'll give my sets variable. Like we'll just do we'll use the same as the above implementation. Like we have used my tuple variable, here we'll use my sets variable. So what sets is all about? No duplicates, right? But we'll try giving duplicates. 1 comma 1. Okay, we'll not start at the initial part itself. We'll just do 1 2 3 4 4 4 4 5 6. Okay, so apart from 4, everything is, no, I mean, there are no duplicates, but 4 is duplicate. Will this allow? Yes, it will allow. But when I print this, there is magic bean happened. Definitely, yeah. But a single 4 has been, printed. Why? Because even if you try to give duplicates, this will not allow duplicates, and it will just store non-duplicate values. It will just store, the distinct values. Even if I've given 4 4s, but it has taken single 4, so that is there. So sets are sets doesn't allow duplicates. And we also see that sets are unordered, correct? We saw it in the theory part. Sets are unordered, which means I cannot do this like as we did with lists and tuples, which were ordered. So what I did earlier, like I was using this, and let's say I want to print 3, which means 2, correct? Which is index 2. So I'll just use print. See, print is not required in Jupyter, but usually when you work in a program, in a software, when you're building a software, or you're writing a program, you need this print. But in this Jupyter, you need not use print every time. But for a good practice, I'm just using this print statement. But when I do this, unlike lists and tuples, this gave me an error which says set object is not subscribable. Okay, I'm not sure what this means, but still, yeah, sets are unordered. So even if I'm trying to fetch this second index, which is 3, probably if I used lists or tuples, for me 3 would have been printed. But in this case, unfortunately, it says no, you cannot do that. Why? Why in the sense, like, what exactly is happening in the background? See, you are seeing this as, if I'm again trying to print, we'll just leave that error in that place, just to get a overview what exactly was going on. So we'll see. So you see that, okay, 1 is in 0 position, 2 is in first, 3 in 2, 4 in 3, 5 in 4, 6 in 5, the position I'm talking about. But visually it feels that. But what sets exactly do is, it doesn't store in that way. It just stores. It doesn't have any track record or any any index where it says, okay, there is a position called 0, there is a position called 1, there is a position called 2. Nothing like that. Sets is something like, okay, there is data which doesn't have any duplicate values. You have that. So it is good in in use cases where you just wanted to add. I'm just giving a lame example. Let's say mobile numbers. No two person can have same mobile number, correct? So until and unless he or she is a minor and they are using their parents' mobile number, that is edge case. We'll just park it aside. But let's say on a high level, if you see, no two members will have a same mobile number. That is there. So in this cases, sets is useful even if you are giving a different mobile number, duplicate mobile number again. So it will not allow you to be stored in this sets. So in these cases you can use sets. Sets are mutable, which means we can change that, but I did not discuss here. So what we can do is, we have this my set variable, correct? What I can do here is, I'll just do add. I'll just add. What I'll add 9, which means when I'm printing this with 1 2 3 4 5 6, we'll also have 9, which means it is allowing to change data. It is allowing you can add data, but still 9 is not in 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 sixth position. Still 9 is not in 6th index position, because it's there. Visually it feels like it is in 6th index position, but it's not. It's there in, it's part of the set, but it's not having any position. So I was able to add, right? I'll also try to remove. So I'll just remove not 9, I'll just try to remove 4 now. I'll just do remove and I'll just say 4. Again I'll print. I think I've used this print statement for 100 times now. Yeah, if you see this list, if you compare this one and this one, the 4 is missing. So I was able to change. The sets allow us to change, but it doesn't allow unordered. I mean, it is not ordered. That is only there. And also it doesn't allow duplicates as well, that we have discussed early, and we have discussed it for multiple times, which is important, even if you are giving it in the initialization part, but it doesn't store immediately, but it doesn't also give you any error. It'll just store, and while you print, you'll know, okay, duplicates are not stored. So this is all about sets. Now we'll discuss about the final main data structure, which is dictionary. Dictionaries. Okay, I'll just do that mark down. Yeah, yes. So dictionaries. So dictionary, if you see the syntax, it's same as sets, correct, but with key value pairs. Again, we'll do the same thing. My dictionary variable. Okay, so now what I'll do, so dictionary syntax, I mean the parenthesis is same, but inside what you say is different. The way it is structured is different. So I'll just give you an example. So we have also discussed in the theory part, which is key value pair, correct? So dictionaries have key value pairs. See, if you see here, it is key but with key value pair, same as sets. I mean, this not same as sets in the sense, not everything, only the syntax, that parenthesis part itself is same as sets, but coming to the implementation part, it is different. Let's say, I'll just give you an example. Let's say name. Okay, this is key, and I'll have to give value, correct? So there should be a value for every key. So let's say now we'll give Sachin. Okay, this is one, this is one key, this is one value. I can do multiples like that. I can do another key. Let's say something like, what can we give? Hundreds. I'll just do this, and we'll just print 100. So 100 is a number, right? So I'm not giving it in this quotes, double quotes. So I can do that. It'll consider 100 as a string, but I don't want to do that, because if I want to add somewhere, I wanted to perform any arithmetic operations, it will not allow in the later point of time. So for that reason, I'm just not giving this as a string. I'm not using double quotes within this 100. So I'll just give 100, which is a number, and I'll say something like played for. I'll just give double quotes, played for. Okay, he played for India, we know that, but we'll just give Mumbai Indians. Yeah. Okay, this is key, this is value, this is key, this is value, this is key, and this is value. Okay, no issues, because I've given the syntax properly. As discussed earlier, I can use directly this, and I can print, but it doesn't allow in if you are building a software, or if you are writing a code somewhere else. So it doesn't allow. You will not be able to see the printed statement. So for the best practice, I'm using this print. So I'll just use print, and yeah, it has been printed. So name Sachin, 100 played for Mumbai Indians. So this is how it is done. So I want to change this hundreds to, this is 100, correct? I want to change that to 101. I can do that because dictionaries are mutable, which means I can change them. But how do I change them? It is not ordered, right? It is unordered. So what does it mean if I want to print? This is wrong implementation, wrong syntax, but still I'm just giving a try. So let's say I want to take 1, which means what usually we think this is considered as 0, this is as 1, this is as 2, correct? But I'm trying to print 1, but this will not work because dictionaries are unordered. There is no specific order for dictionaries. So what we'll do is, instead of using 1, we'll use hundreds. This key is used in dictionaries. Wherever if you want to pull that value out, you need to use keys. Here I'm using key. Oh, some spelling. What happened? Okay, hundreds is not defined. Why hundreds is not defined? See, I'll tell you why. So what I've done, see, this is string, this is string, this is string. I mean, keys are string, and what I've done here, I've used, like, I've just give played for. I mean, I've not given this double quote. I'll just give this, okay, double quotes, and then you run. It works because, see, this is a string, correct? If you're seeing here, played for is a string, and I'll have to give string, as a parameter, but we were trying for hundreds, so we'll do that for hundreds. So okay, 100 has been printed. Okay, I can do for name. Yes, definitely I can do it for name. Sachin has been printed. So this is how you do. So what we thought, I'll just change this hundreds to 101, correct? It is 100, but I want to change that to 101. What I can do, I can just do this. Can I do this? Of course I can do this. And if I print hundreds, now it is 101. Also, I can print the whole dictionary. It doesn't matter. So I'm printing whole dictionary, and it says 100 because dictionaries are mutable, which means I can do this. And also one more thing, which is very important. What we thought, what we learned earlier, which is keys doesn't allow duplicates, correct? Keys doesn't allow duplicates. So what we'll do is we'll just create another variable. I'll say variable 1, variable 2, this new variable. This space is confusing me. Okay, you can give, but just for better readability, I just removed. And I'll say again, I'll just give one more key value pair as name again. So what I'll do here is name, I'll put Virat. So if I run, no issues, fine, and I'll print this. But print not just variable, but variable 2, which is our new dictionary. What happened here? I've given name Sachin, I've given name Virat, but what happened? Sachin is overridden with this new name because I've used name keys couple of times. I mean 2 times. I can use a number of times, but the last initialized key will be used. So here, even if I've given Sachin for the first time, but later point of the time there is another Virat, another name key. So that is the reason the name is being updated with the newest value, which is at the end, which is the latest one. So rest everything remains same. So this is where you can say that keys doesn't allow duplicates, but values do. So I'll have to give that example as well, correct? So what I'll do, I'll just create new this variable, which is variable 3. So what I'll do is hundreds. So we'll just remove this example. So this is a new list. Now I'll tell 50s. 50s also 100 will tell. So what happens here? Okay. So keys are unique, correct? Keys doesn't have any duplicates because name hundreds, played for 50s, but values have duplicates. So in this case, it will allow. And even if you print my dictionary variable 3, you see everything goes well because value can be it can have duplicates. So this is all about dictionaries, and also we have few methods. So I'll just take the latest variable, latest dictionary, and we'll say keys. This is one method. All keys are being printed. Name is a key, hundreds is a key, played for is a key, 50s is a key. I can do same thing for items. No, before that I'll just do values because we have done for keys. Now values, Sachin 100, Mumbai Indians 100. So these are the values. Now I'll do for items. So items means it will give you in a tuple, and there is a list, in that you have a tuple formed. So name is Sachin, 100, played for Mumbai Indians, 50s 100. So this is how it is, items. And now what we'll do is the last one we'll say get. Get variable 3, get what? get name. Okay, name, double quotes, again I missed this, Sachin. So you can say why you have to use this get. Instead I can do this, right? You can just do this, correct? I can say name. I can do this. It's same. Get also is same. This also is same. So usually usually what happens is you print this way, correct? You can do this way. This is how it is. And this is also there, and you can also do it in the other way. What I can do is let's say name a and name underscore a equal to, I can just do this way. So where if I print name underscore a, Sachin has been printed. You can store that from a dictionary. You can store it in the other variable using this .get method. So yeah, there will be other uses as well. So if we discuss more in detail, this video can go much more longer. Yeah, but for better understanding, I believe that this dictionaries, using this methods and also the information what we have received now, like the syntax, unordered, mutable, key values, everything. So this is where dictionary is all about. And I believe that this tutorial has helped you a lot to understand the main data structures in Python in a practical way, of course. So if there is anything else, we'll just create another video where we'll have much more details about data structures. So there will be more methods, correct? There will be more methods which are not that popular but definitely will be useful. So we'll just cover those methods as well. So that's it from this video.